Hello, guys, and welcome to Football Fan Den UK. Hope you guys having a good afternoon as we are here for the Europa League Conference League draw. And I'm just going to share the pot news on the screen with you guys so you guys can see how the draw can go. So as you guys can see, the UK clubs, let's have a look where they are as we wait for the draw to get underway. Where are we? So we have Villa in pot 2. Aberdeen in pot 4. So yeah, we are 2 clubs we are looking out for. Villa and Aberdeen. So the trial about to get underway in a moment, guys. Let's quickly go to the chat. BWFC Forever, how you doing, mate? Welcome to the show. BWFC saying 1313. Hello, guys and all. How you doing, mate? Welcome to the show. I'm not sure what you mean by 1313. Or is that the time you dropped in, mate? But good to have you with us. BWFC Forever. Hope you're having a good day, mate. Welcome to the show. Who you guys would like to see in the draw? Milzard saying hi. How's it going, Milzard? Welcome to the show. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're having a good day. And always good to have you with us. How are you doing, mate? BDUFC saying forever saying hello. How are you all doing? I'm good. Thanks for asking, mate. How are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. And thank you very much for that, BDUFC. Thanks for asking, mate. Don't forget, guys, please do hit that thumbs up if you could. Only a short stream this afternoon for this one. Stevie saying hi, Gaz and all. How's it going, Stevie? Thank you very much for making yourself available. We'll be doing a draw, guys, and then getting some of your reaction after it's done. So, yeah. Glasgow Rangers saying hi, Gaz. How's it going, mate? Thank you very much for dropping back in. Glasgow Rangers popped in on the earlier stream that we did for the Europa League. So, thank you very much, Glasgow Rangers, dropping back in on this one, mate. Good to see you. Thanks for that. BWFC Forever saying hi, Stevie. Hi, Premier League Focus. Nice one, mate. Top stuff from BWFC there. Positive vibes in the chat. Top man. And Glasgow Rangers saying busy today, guys. Absolutely, yep. It's a lot going on today. Draws going on, as well as the transfer deadline day, as well as we also have games later on this evening as well. So, yeah, you're right, mate. Thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. BWFC Forever saying, I'm not saying that horrible name, Focus. Okay, mate. I take it you're not a big fan of Rangers then. So fair enough. Thanks for that, BWFC Forever. Glasgow Rangers saying hi, BWFC Forever. And Stevie, nice one. Glasgow Rangers loving the positive vibes from you guys today. Top stuff, guys. Thank you. Glasgow Rangers saying that's okay, BWFC. You're entitled to your opinion. Awesome. Top stuff. Glasgow Rangers. Yep. That's probably the best way to react to it, mate. Top stuff, Glasgow Rangers. Well said, well said. So BWFC Service saying, haha, all right. Thought on your UEFA Champions League group. Thoughts on your UEFA Champions League group? I think he's taking the mick there. To be fair, mate, Rangers, got to give them credit. They might not be in the Champions League, but they did get all the way to the Europa League final 2 years ago, mate. So maybe it's a good draw for them being in the Europa League this season, for them to gain more European experience for their players. But thank you for that, BWFC. Trying to make a bit of friendly banter there, mate. BWFC Forever also saying, oh, you don't have one. Yes, we know, mate. But as I say, Rangers it might be more beneficial to them this season to be in the Europa League for that experience value. So thank you for that, BDOFC, trying to banter a bit there. So, guys, what would you say could be the best draw for the UK clubs in Europe this afternoon? What are you guys thinking? What would be some good fixtures for UK clubs to face? I'm just having a look what other clubs are involved, guys. There's some quite a few clubs I don't know very well, but that's because obviously this is the lesser European competition. So just having a quick scout over what clubs we've got in it that are challenging clubs. Frankfurt will be a tricky tie, I suppose. Club Brugge, strong. Dynamo Zagreb, a strong club. Akmar, I've got a bit of European experience now. Ghent, also an experienced European club. Fenerbahce, a very experienced club from Turkey. Lille in there as well from France. So we've got a couple of big clubs in pot one. In pot two, Maccabi Tel Aviv, they're quite experienced in Europe. Victoria Pilsen, they've had quite a bit of European experience. Fiorentina as well, like another experienced club, as well as so yeah. So quite a few tricky teams in there, guys. Besiktas as well in pot three. They're an experienced European club as well. So some tricky ties in there, guys, for some of the UK clubs to potentially come up against. So we are going to have the draw in a second. BDOFC forever saying, anyway, genuine question, thoughts on Europa, European, and you are group. Yeah, well, I did share my thoughts on that on the previous stream, mate, to be fair. I did share the thoughts on that previous stream, so I don't want to repeat myself in case I don't follow on from what I said in the previous stream. But thank you for that, BDOFC. You guys welcome to share your thoughts, mate. Glasgow Rangers say, mate, nothing against you, BDOFC forever, but at least we got close to winning a European competition in the last 10 years. Take it, you're a Celtic fan, as I said. Thought nothing against you, though, mate. Okay, thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers, trying to keep the chat friendly and respectful. Top man, thank you for that, mate. Glasgow Rangers also saying, BWFC forever, I think we will get second in our group. Yeah, I think to be fair, I think Rangers got a good chance of winning it at the group, to be fair. So yeah, thank you for that. What's going on here? So thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. I think you guys got a good chance of winning the group, mate, to be fair. I really do. So all these pots basically go off the rankings of UEFA's rankings. That's why we've got pot one, pot two, pot three. So basically the higher ranking you've got in off UEFA, the higher pot you're going to be in. What you have to remember with these rankings, guys, is that UEFA rank you based on how many victories you get in Europe. So the more victories that your club get, whether it's in qualifying, whatever stage of the competition it is, they will rank you based on the results that you get. So whether you get when you get draws, wins, that will gain you points in the UEFA rankings. But if you're getting defeats regular, then you're going to get less points. Mm. They don't half make it confusing, don't they? I'm just listening to this how UEFA explaining it. It's crazy, is it? They make it really confusing. Glasgow Rangers saying Real Betis have a good squad. Plus Nabil Fekira has a good. Sorry, he's a good player. Um, yeah, no, you're right, mate. I think Real Betis is a very tricky tie for anybody that comes up against them. So let's hope the UK clubs can preferably avoid Real Betis, if hopefully. Thanks for that, mate. Glasgow Rangers also saying, Gaz, I've always wondered, what age do YouTube channels retire at? What age do YouTube channels retire at? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't know of YouTube channels retiring. To be fair, I don't. I think you got to what you got to do with YouTube, mate. You got to obviously. I'm still learning a lot as well, but you've got to read through all the stuff. I've been reading it, a lot of it recently. You got to read through all the rules, all the community guidelines, that kind of stuff to get a good understanding. And um, so, yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by channels retired, though, mate. So, if you want to explain a bit more, so we're about to get underway with the draw, guys. So, first team coming out of the pot, Lille, French team Lille, first team out the pot. Now going to Group A. Um, Glasgow Rangers say, never mind, would like Villa to win the Conference League. No worries, mate. No worries. Well, if you want to talk about YouTube stuff, mate, you're always welcome to message me on social media. Um, can obviously talk to you guys a little bit more about stuff like that. Um, it's difficult to talk about it on the channel because obviously I'm focused on actually making the channel about what we actually watch each show's about. So Dinamo have gone into Group C. Dinamo Zagreb into Group C. Sorry, I missed the other team there. Club Brugge, Belgium. Now going to Group D. Next team out is AZ Alkmaar. So they will go into Group E. Our next team out is Yerevan, Hungarian champions, as they go into Group F. Glasgow Rangers saying, I'm out walking my dog. I've sat down here to listen to this. Love walking my dog, mate. Oh, cool, mate. Can't fault you there. Eintracht Frankfurt, next team out as they go into Group G. But yeah, thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. Do my best to keep you informed, mate. Although I'm presuming you might be able to also watch it as well. So Fenerbahce, the next team out, Turkish side Fenerbahce. They go into Group H. So we've got all the first teams drawn, and now this is where it starts to get interesting, where we start to see how the fixtures are going to be as we start to see the clubs take formation with the next pot. So the next pot is pot 2. So first team to be drawn will be Slavan Bratislava, Slovakian champions. So they go into Group A. The next team to be drawn Maccabi Tel Aviv, Israel team, as my opinion, shouldn't be in it because it's not part of Europe. Israel is not part of Europe, no matter how much Europe wants to make it. It's part of the Middle East. So, yeah, not a team I agree being in this competition. Nothing against Maccabi Tel Aviv, but for me, the European competition should be kept authentic where it is European clubs involved. Maccabi Tel Aviv in Israel, which is more part of the Middle East, guys. Geographically, it's part of the Middle East. So Villa out next. We got Villa. They will go into pot C. Group C, sorry. So Villa into Group C. Glasgow Rangers saying Fenerbahce have really bought good players. Edin, Desak, Dusan Tadic. Under Fred, they should win Turkish league, in my opinion. We don't know, Galatasaray obviously doing quite well at the minute. They've got themselves into the Champions League, mate. So yeah, thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. I think you're right. That'll be an interesting battle in the Turkish league. Fiorentina out next, the Italian team. They're going to go into Group F. Glasgow Rangers saying, right, have to get up now, but we'll listen in my pocket. Okay, thank you, mate. Top man. Thank you, Glasgow Rangers. A pleasure. Uh, appreciate you sticking with us, mate. So, so FK Glimp go into Group E, I think he said. I think it's Group E. Park FC, Greek side. So they're going to Group G. And Glasgow Rangers are here. No worries, mate. No worries. I'll come to the chat very shortly. Just trying. The draw's going quite quickly this time. Ludogorets next team out. So they're going to Group H. So half of the groups filled with 16 teams drawn and another 16 to go. So we've only got one UK club out at the moment. So pot 3 now. So who are we getting next? So first team out is Legia Warsaw, Polish club. And they go into Group E. So Legia Warsaw drawn in Aston Villa's group. So Villa will be having a trip to Poland. Genk, next team out, Belgian club Genk. So they're going into Group F. So Genk in with Fiorentina and I can't read that other club, Ferrari. Some of the clubs from Eastern Europe, bit of a mouthful. Olympia Ljubljana into Group A. Next team out is FC Zoria from Ukraine. They go into Group B. FC Astana from Kazakhstan. They go into Group C. Helsinki of Finland. And they will go into Group G. Frankfurt and PAOK in that group. Besiktas, Turkish club, next team out. They will go into Group D against Bruges and FK Glimps. FC Sparta Trnava. And they'll go into Group H of with Fenerbahce. And I forgot the other, can't pronounce the other team there, guys. There's some teams in this Europa Conference League that's a little bit hard to mention and read out their names, as obviously this competition designed for all the clubs to get some European experience that normally fall at the qualification stage. The group's starting to take shape now, guys, as we wait for final pot to be drawn, which is pot 4, and this pot includes Aberdeen, so we should see which group Aberdeen are drawn in. So here we go, guys. Final 8 teams to complete the groups. Klaksvik into Group A. Their first appearance in the competition. So they go into Group A. Don't forget, guys, please do hit that thumbs up if you haven't. And if you have already, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. So next team out is Bradabik from Iceland. So Bradabik from Iceland, they go into Group B. FC Balkani from Kosovo. They go into Group C. Next team out is HSK Linsky. They go into Group E. So they will come up against Villa in Group E. Villa group now full. AZ Alkmaar in that group as well. So next team out is FK Julinski. Their first appearance in the group stage, as we're hearing. And they go into Group F. Kyle is saying Rangers got decent group. How are you doing, Gaz, mate? I'm good, thank you, Kyle. Welcome to the show, mate. Good to have you with us. Yep, I agree. Rangers got a decent group. We'll have a closer look at it very shortly as we just getting to the end of the group. And Aberdeen have now come out, guys. Aberdeen will go into Group G. So Aberdeen into Group G. And we're just having the final two teams drawn, and then we can have a look at how the tables or the groups look. FC Lugano from Switzerland, they go into Group D. So one more team to come out the draw. And that is FC Nordsjælland, Denmark club. And they go into the final group with a place left, which is Group H. So there you go, guys. What do you make of that? As, let's have a look if I can see, if I can get. Let's have a closer look at I'll bring up the groups in a moment, guys. So we are, as how it goes, guys. Villa have gone Group E, AZ Alkmaar, Legia Warsaw, and HSK Zaginski. And Aberdeen in Group G, they'll be taking on Eintracht Frankfurt, Polk FC, HJK Helsinki. So how ironic is that, guys? Aberdeen to face Polk, who recently knocked out Aberdeen's Scottish rivals Hearts last night. So interesting draw, guys. Interesting draw. What do you make of it? So yeah, thanks for that, Kyle. Good to have you with us, mate. BWFC Forever saying, all right, mate. Sorry I went away, but I am a Celtic fan. And second in your group is fair. Yeah, okay, mate. Thanks for that, BWFC. That makes sense. If you're a Celtic fan, I didn't know that, mate. So yeah, fair enough. Obviously, the Rangers Celtic rivalry is always healthy. So thanks for that, mate. BWFC saying another Rangers fan, face purple, crying, face purple, crying. Well, let me just remind you and educate you, BWFC. I'm just going to educate you a little bit now, mate. Rangers might be not at their best, but they got an excuse for it, mate. They've been down in the lower leagues of Scotland for a number of years. They're only just recovering from it, and since they've come back, they've achieved more in Europe in a short space of time than Celtic have done in 10 years, mate. So, I suggest you rein in the banter a little bit, mate, considering that Celtic have had such a poor showing in Europe for the last 10 years. And Rangers have been back in Europe 4 seasons, and they've already reached the Europa League final. So I think you need to do a bit of research, BWFC. I don't mind the banter, mate, but make it genuine banter that's worthwhile hearing, not just having a pop at other fans of other clubs that you don't like with not having the acquired knowledge about it, mate. No offence, but I think Celtic fans need to just silence themselves a bit. Champions of Scotland should be given a better showing and a better putting up more fight in Europe to show that they're a force to be reckoned with, not going into Europe and going into meltdown as soon as every time they do. And let's be honest, no disrespect to Celtic, but they've been embarrassing themselves in Europe. They keep winning the Scottish Championship, the Scottish Premiership, banging on about how great it is to win it and how many titles they win, and then go and embarrass themselves and the Scottish League in Europe by not putting in performances. The banter works both ways, mate. At least Glasgow Rangers, I have nothing against either club. I'm trying to be respectful to both clubs, but when it comes to European football, the banter's pointless, mate, because Celtic are not showing up in Europe. That's the reality. If you are the champions of a league, then should you not go into Europe and make yourselves difficult to beat? Not just getting hammered by every club and any club. And let's be honest, Celtic, whether it's in the Champions League, whether it's a European, Europa League, or even the Conference League that they dropped into a few seasons ago, they have been doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. They have not been showing that strength in Europe, mate. Not even accidentally. So, the banter works both ways, mate. It really does. Glasgow Rangers saying, I love La Liga, Warsaw. No, sorry, Legia Warsaw. They are such passionate fans that protect against UEFA. Really good fans. Yep, no, that's fair enough, mate. Yeah, I'm quite excited to see Union Berlin myself this season in the Champions League. Hope they can cause a bit of an upset. But yeah, I think you're right, mate. I think Legia Warsaw, good club. Although I think in every country there is good and bad in football. So I think Legia Warsaw got some great fans, as you say, mate. But I think just like any club, they've probably got a small element of bad fans as well. So yeah, but as you say, mate, overall they are a good club. Their fans very passionate, always show real passion in games in Europe, don't they? Create a fantastic atmosphere. So I think you're right there, mate. Kyle H saying a lot of racist fans though. So I'm glad we got to smash Prague. Okay, mate. Fair enough. Kyle there sharing his opinion. Fair enough, mate. Kyle's saying hate Prague after what they did to Kamara. Right. Yeah, I suppose so. Fair enough. I try not to hate any club, mate, me personally, but yeah, I can understand you guys not being too happy about that. That was quite a controversial thing, wasn't it, at the time? So, yeah, fair enough, Kyle. Ben is saying 2021 Europa League finalist Frankfurt vs Rangers. Absolutely. Yep. See, that's what I mean, Ben. That's what I mean. People underestimate Rangers in Europe. And let's be honest, yes, last season they had a disappointing season in the Champions League, but so did Celtic. And let's be honest, that's the first season that Rangers have been in it for 10, 15 years? Longer, maybe. I don't know exactly when they were last in it, but obviously, since they were last in it, they've been down in the lower leagues of Scotland fighting their way back up because they got punished by the SPFL and sent down to Scottish League 2, didn't they, where they had to work their way back up. But they come back, and yet again, they get to another Europa League final. So, yeah, you're right, Ben. And they was also in it, I think, roughly around 2000, about 20 years ago as well. I think they went to the Manchester Europa League final as well, which was held in Manchester. So well said, Ben. Thanks for that, mate. BWFC Forever saying good for you. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Yeah. Kyle is saying, I'm glad it's the one thing where Celtic and Rangers actually unite against uh, the racist idiots of Prague. Yeah, well, I think yeah, it's weird in it sometimes what you can see bring Rangers and Celtic fans together in it. To be fair, mate. Um, so let's gonna share on the screen with you guys the groups. So just bear with me a second. Let me just quickly bring it up. So there you go. Should be on your screen now, guys. That's the draw. As you can see, uh, UK clubs is Villa in Group B and Aberdeen in Group G. Only two UK clubs involved in this competition at this stage. But there, as you can see, guys. Oh, sugar. What they've done here now. Let's get rid of that. Sorry, guys. That's not meant to be. So, hang on a minute. That weren't meant to come up then. Sorry, guys. That probably might get flagged up that now. Hopefully not. Where are we? Europa Conference League draw. Let's have a look, see if we can get it up better. No. So just to let you guys know, I will share this what I've come across. Let's just have a look. This is what you guys should be looking at to get yourselves a clearer picture of how UEFA work. Hang on, if I can get it to come on. This is a big thing of this is a big thing. This is UEFA's ranking system, guys. If you can see, as you can see, there's the ranking system, and that's how UEFA judge which pot you go in and your club goes in. It goes off your individual club, but it also goes off um, your national contribution of points. As you can see there, that's how UEFA rank the teams by each country. Basically, each club that wins, when your clubs from your country get wins in Europe, it contributes to the coefficient, and this is the way it's ranked. As you can see, obviously England, Spain, Italy, Germany, France in the top five, the most obviously the most competitive leagues, if you like, in Europe, or the high profile leagues at least in Europe. And then obviously, as you can see, Scotland doing well with their coefficients. They've managed to push it up a bit, but we really need um, the Scottish clubs this season to step up a bit more and try and get more points on that board to close the gap on Austria, because it can only be in Scotland's favour to close the gap and climb further up that league. Because the more you get up the league, guys, the more you get European places. Disappointing to see Northern Ireland lower down in 42nd place, but obviously Northern Ireland's got a smaller league structure, but they are quite a way ahead of Wales, and that's really disappointing to see Wales right alongside Gibraltar there, guys. Wales in 50th and Gibraltar in 51st. That's really disappointing to see that Wales uh, so low in the UEFA rankings. But what we have to remember, guys, is UEFA rankings go off the Welsh clubs in the Welsh Cypriot Premiership. It doesn't go off Swansea or Cardiff, because they obviously play in the English league. So if they ever did get into Europe, their contribution, I would think, would register on the English tally because they play in the English league structure. So that doesn't do Wales any favours. But as you can see, Wales down there in 50th, and that is because it goes off the Welsh Premiership results rather than the Welsh clubs that actually play in English football. So yeah, disappointing, but just thought I'd share that on the screen so you guys could have a look at it, see what you think of it, in case you're not very familiar with that. So thanks, Kyle. Um, BWFC saying you lost. Yes, but they got there, mate. They got there. That's the thing. You got to be in it to win it. At least they got there. Ben is saying, guys, calm down a little. I understand, but they were the first British team to win the Champions League. Calm down. I'm not. I'm perfectly calm, Ben. Perfectly calm, mate. I've just not got no time. You guys, I don't want to be off, but you guys should be learning this. I've got no time for immature banter, guys. If you're going to come on bantering, use intelligent banter. Celtic fans coming on and having a banter at Rangers fans, come on. As much as Celtic, fantastic club, I have nothing against Celtic. And yes, you are right, Ben. They are the first British team to win the Champions League, although it wasn't the Champions League format back when they won it. It was a different format. But yes, you are right. They are the first British club to win the Champions League as it's known today. But that was a long time ago, mate. And I'm perfectly calm, but I'm speaking facts. I'm speaking facts. And the fact of the matter is, if you're going to go on about winning the Scottish League and how great it is and how it makes you the strongest club in Scottish football, then should you not? This is a genuine question, guys. If you are the Scottish champions, no matter whether it's Rangers or Celtic, it doesn't matter which one of them it is. If they win the championship and they're saying that they're the Scottish champions, they're the strongest team in Scotland, should they not be showing that in Europe? Whether it's Rangers or Celtic, it doesn't matter. Should they not be showing that strength in Europe? And what I mean is, guys, I don't expect Celtic and Rangers to reach the Champions League final. What I expect from Celtic and Rangers when they go into Europe is they show that strength and they make themselves difficult to beat. They don't do that. Well, Celtic don't. Anyway, Rangers in Europa League have been difficult to beat. In the Champions League, different story. But like I say, Rangers have only had one season back in the Champions League. Celtic have been in Europe all the time that Rangers have been down there in the lower leagues. So this is my point, guys. Let me make it clear, right? I have nothing against Celtic or Rangers. I have no feeling either way. I do not prefer either team. They're both equal to me. I'm not interested really that much in the rivalry because I think there's too much hate in it. But the reality is, when it comes to Europe, Celtic and Rangers fans are so focused on each other, they forgot their God-given right to go and show how big and strong their club is in Europe. So that's just my personal preference. If you win the league and you are the Scottish champions, then you should be showing that strength in Europe and making yourself difficult to beat. I don't expect Celtic or Rangers to reach a Champions League final or a Europa League final. What I expect is if they win the Scottish Championship, the Scottish Premiership, if they win it, I expect them to show that they're strong in Europe, make themselves difficult to beat. Celtic have been winning. How many titles have they won? They came close to winning 10 titles not so long ago. Rangers just managed to stop them winning it. But while they've been winning all them 9 titles, what did they do in Europe in that time? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Getting knocked out of the qualification stage, getting knocked out of the group stage. No offense. I know the money. I know what you guys are going to say. The money's not there in Scotland. It doesn't matter about the money. You don't need the money to make yourself difficult to beat, guys. You just have to have a team that's prepared to work hard, and there's a team mentality where everybody's going to put a shift in. That's reality. But that's just my opinion. If you guys wish to absorb yourself in the banter and look past that, that's up to you. But for me, like I say, the rivalry between Celtic and Rangers should stay in Scotland, and they should start out showing more ambition to achieve stuff. And it's fine what Ben is saying. He's right that Celtic deserve credit for the Champions League success they've had in the past. But that were many years ago. That were many, many, many years ago. You don't see Liverpool still hanging on to the first Champions League trophy that they win. No, they haven't. They've gone on and won 5 more, mate. So, you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. You're still hanging on to historical past. Football's moved on. Celtic need to move on and start showing their strength in Europe. That is all I'm saying. I'm not having a go at Celtic. I'm just simply stating that they are the strongest club in Scotland for a number of years now, with the exception of one season where Rangers won it. And yet they're not showing that strength in Europe. That's all I'm saying. I don't expect them to go and smash Real Madrid or Manchester City. I expect them to show that they are the strongest club in Scotland by making themselves difficult to beat. That's just my opinion, guys. But you guys entitled to your own opinion. As I say, always respect your opinion. I might not agree with it, but I'll always respect your opinion. BWFC Forever saying, very true, Ben. Well, that's if you want to, guys, want to stick to something that happened back in the 1960s, 70s, then that's up to you. But we're in 2023 now, mate, guys. It's a long, long time ago that. BWFC Forever saying, agreed, Kyle. But so fair enough. Thanks for that, mate. Ben saying, good and bad. I think my club's history was bad. Which club are you talking about now, Ben? Are you still talking about Celtic or are you talking about Millwall? I'm not sure. BWFC Forever saying SOS. I forgot, who do you support, Ben? Ben is a Millwall fan, mate. Ben's a Millwall fan. Ben saying it's fine, BWFC. No worries. Top stuff, guys. And BWFC saying, who do you support? Yep, Millwall, mate. Millwall, he's a Millwall fan. You got Ben confirming that. Top stuff, Ben. Thank you, mate. BWFC Forever saying, okay. Top stuff, guys. Carl saying Rangers and Betis should get through from our group, I reckon. Yeah, I think you're right, Kyle. Hopefully Rangers can win that group. But like I say, difficult task so far yet, in it, guys, to be fair. Ryan Clark, how you doing, mate? Welcome to the show. Ryan saying, hey up, everyone. How you doing, mate? Welcome to the show. Hope you're having a good day, Ryan. Thank you for coming getting involved. Ben saying, hi, Ryan. Top stuff, Ben. And also Kyle, yo, Ben. And BWFC, also, hi, Ben. You guys are awesome. Top stuff, guys. Awesome. Thank you. Loving the positivity. Glasgow Rangers saying, lads, I think it's best to keep our opinions to ourselves whenever the Rangers and Celtic, you can easily cause annoyment. So I think for this situation, maybe just keep our opinions to ourselves. No, well, thank you very much for that, Glasgow Rangers. But you guys are free to talk about. I don't mind you talking about rivalries and stuff like that. All I'm asking you to do is look at it objectively. Look at it don't look at it with club glasses on. When you come to debate with me, guys, I'm not going to have club glasses on. I'm going to have a football glasses on where I look at it from both sides of the table. That's me. That's why I keep telling you guys, I love football. I'm not a big fan of club rivalries. That's just me personally. I just love football. And I think that sometimes fans forget to love football because they're so absorbed by their club loyalty and their love for the club. And that's fantastic. Nothing wrong with having love for your club. But you have to remind yourself sometimes, guys, that you're a football fan as well. You're not just a club fan. You're a football fan. And you're allowed to have objective and intelligent opinions about football aspects where you take off your club glasses and look at the bigger picture as a football fan. That's just my opinion. You guys don't have to agree with me. I'm always welcome. I'm always happy for you guys. I always encourage you guys to speak reasonably, freely about football topics in the chat if that's what you want to talk about. We had an issue last night with one fan not liking that you guys were talking about mixed stuff, but that's what Fandon's about. It's here for you guys to enjoy conversation. The only thing I would encourage, guys, is keep the conversation positive and, give intelligent comments. I don't mind you guys making comparisons, things like that. But like I say, there's a difference between comparisons and when your comments are coming across as where you're looking at. I mean, here we are debating Celtic and Rangers in Europe, and they're not even in the same competition. So this is where I'm going on about, guys, some perspective. Rangers and Celtic are carrying that rivalry into Europe, and it's not beneficial because when do they play in Europe together? It's like a 99% chance that they're going to come up against each other in Europe because UEFA's got it structured so that they can avoid each other all the way to the knockout stages. So it's very unlikely they're going to come up against each other in Europe. But when they both play in Europe, they represent Scotland and they contribute to the co-efficiency. So why can't we just have Celtic and Rangers fans? At least they don't have to support each other. I wouldn't expect that, but at least just be, just calm the rivalry down when they're representing the country. Because when you go into Europe, guys, you don't just represent your club; you represent the country and the league that you play in. So yeah. So thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. But like I say, mate, I want you guys to feel free to talk about whatever. All I'm asking you guys is to do is just, have a bit of respect for each other as different fans. That's one of the difficulties you're going to find, guys. It's going to be a difficult task for me as a Build fan then, because not many other football channels are having an open chat like this where they're engaging with you with mixed fans. Most channels that do this, like what I'm doing, are club channels. So they're not gonna they're all gonna agree with each other because they're talking about one club. How many other YouTubers do you see on YouTube that are covering all UK football and trying to accommodate all fans of all clubs? Go and have a look, see how many you find that are actually engaging with you and responding to your comments. You'll find there's not that many channels, guys. So yeah, Kyle is saying no thanks, mate. Talk about whatever you want as long as it's not offensive. Absolutely, yep, that's fair enough, Kyle. Thank you, mate. Well said. I think in fairness, I think Glasgow Rangers just trying to avoid the argument. In fairness, mate. So I've got to give massive respect for Glasgow Rangers. At least he's trying to keep the chat positive. But thank you for that, Kyle, as well. You well said, mate. Ben saying, yeah, I understand Glasgow Rangers. Things can get heated in rivalry chats. Nice one, Ben. Yep, talking. You guys seeing it as I'm trying to explain. I'd like to say, guys, totally understand the rivalries. No problem with the rivalries. But like I say, the Scottish rivalry between Rangers and Celtic is so huge. Does it really need to go into Europe? I don't think it does, but that's just my opinion. Kyle H saying, you're free to talk about what you want, and if it's not appropriate, then Stevie or Gaz will deal with it. Nice one, Kyle. Absolutely, yeah. Well said, mate. Oh, wrong one. Well said, Kyle. Well said, mate. Absolutely. Like I say, I want you guys to feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Just all I ask, guys, is keep it respectful and just remember that you're a football fan, not just a club fan. That's all I'm asking you to do. I have no problem with you guys being loyal to your club, but you also need to remember you're a football fan and you're allowed to be loyal to yourself as a football fan and show that you are intelligent as a football fan and you've got a bigger, what's the word I'm looking for? That you're a knowledgeable football fan and you've got a good general football knowledge, not just knowledge about your own club. But thank you guys for trying to keep it positive. Really appreciated. Glasgow Rangers saying, I'm shocked. Austria is ninth. There's quite a few surprises in that, to be fair, mate. So thanks for that. Kyle is saying we are not promoting not being able to talk about Rangers or Celtic here because it might hurt someone's feelings. It's the way in which you make your points that matters. Absolutely, Kyle. Yeah, well said, mate. You're right about the points. Yeah, but Kyle, you are allowed to talk about Celtic and Rangers. I'm not saying don't talk about Celtic and Rangers, mate. All I'm saying is, do we really need to get into the hatred aspect of Rangers and Celtic when we're doing a show here about a competition that Celtic are not even involved in? And Celtic and Rangers both going to contribute to Scotland's coefficients here. But thank you for that, Kyle. Appreciate your comment there. Ben saying 55 Rangers Scottish Premiership, 53 Celtic League titles, or something like that. Yep, that's correct. No, I think it's 54. Is it? Is it 54 for Celtic? I think I might be wrong. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's one. There's only one between the two. But thank you for that, Ben. Kyle saying, yeah, Ben. Is it? I thought it was only one between. I thought it was 55 Rangers, 54 for Celtic. So it looks like I might be off. So thanks for that, guys. Glasgow Rangers saying, I think is no matter what club it is. Sorry, guys. It is. I can't stand excuses unless it is a valid reason. I perfectly get valid reasons. Okay, mate. Thank you for that, Glasgow Rangers. Thank you for sharing your opinion there, mate. And Glasgow Rangers also saying, don't get how Lithuania, Slovakia, them types of leagues are higher than Northern Ireland. Probably because they're picking up more points. in the qualifying rounds, mate. In the qualifying, that's why I say that the rankings go off UEFA. Um, UEFA give you points based on how many. I'm not sure if it's how many goals you score, but I know it's how many wins you get. So if you get wins and draws, if you're picking up points, that's how they give you points for your country. So the better results you get, the more points you pick up. But yeah, it is a strange one, to be fair, mate. But like I say, I think it's probably the qualifiers, maybe the qualifiers. So yeah, and obviously if they've got one more club involved in Europe than you have, because they've got a higher ranking, then that's one more club that can have actually contribute more points in it. To be fair, so thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. Great point. Kyle is saying Millwall aren't bad, just like every team. Millwall aren't bad, just like every team. They have a small section of supporters who give them a reputation, and it's not fair on the good ones. No, I agree with that, Kyle. Absolutely, yeah. Well said, mate. To be honest, I think Millwall's a good club. I think it's a good club. Yep, there is a small minority, but that's with every club, as you say, Kyle. Well said, mate. Every club has got a small element. I think the problem with Millwall is they're still, unfortunately, they're still tagged with the problems that they had back in the 80s and 90s, and early 2000s, where they had a certain element of their fans that was getting themselves in bother, shall we say, to put it nicely. So I think maybe Millwall still tagged with that problem, but 20 years have gone by since that now, so we should be starting to move on. But for me, yeah, Millwall is a good club. Carl's saying, yeah, there's a few countries that have lower coefficients than I thought they would. Thanks for that, Kyle. Yeah, good stuff, guys. Good to see you analysing that coefficiency stats. Glasgow Rangers saying, shame the Jeremy Kyle show closed down. Laugh out loud. Just joking. No worries, mate. No worries. No worries, mate. You guys are top. You guys, I know you guys are top. Just occasionally, on odd occasions, you guys just get a little bit carried away with one or two of the rivalry comments, but that's understandable. It's your passion getting into you, and that's totally understandable as far as football fans are concerned. So thanks for that, mate. Kyle is saying Belgium, for example, such a highly rated national team, yet 4 places lower than Scotland. Yeah, that's well done, Kyle. Yeah, good observation. Yeah, I never spotted that, actually. I'm not sure if this goes just off club football, though. I think, does it just go off club football, or does it go off? I don't know if the national teams contribute. I think it's just club football, in it. The club teams that contribute to the coefficiency with regards to club football, I think. So I'd have to look into that. I think Kyle's just identified something to look into there. Thanks for that, Kyle. I'll have to look into that a bit more at some point. I'll see how the coefficiency work, whether national teams actually contribute to it, or whether that's a separate coefficiency league. You would think it would be a separate coefficiency league, wouldn't you think, really? But yeah, great point. Well spotted, Kyle. Thanks for that, mate. Glasgow Rangers saying, personally, I think Belgium should be 10th, like they have Club Brugge, Genk, and other decent teams. Yeah, but you're right, Glasgow Rangers. But if they don't get the results in Europe, then they don't contribute to the coefficiency, do they? So yeah. Like I say, this is one of the things I was trying to say about Celtic and Rangers. If they put the rivalry to one side just when they play in Europe, and they both was a little bit more supportive of each other, and both really took European competitions with. I know both clubs look at it serious. They both want to progress in Europe, but sometimes the question is, do the players buy into it enough? Because, like I say, I think Celtic and Rangers could really push Scotland further up that coefficiency league, guys. I think they could potentially be in and around the Netherlands and possibly Portugal. Because let's be honest, in Portugal, I think in Portugal they've only got 3 decent teams. To be fair, they've got Porto, Benfica, and Sparta. Is it Sporting Lisbon? I think it is. They're the only 3 regular Portuguese clubs that get in Europe. But unfortunately, from a Scottish point of view, and obviously Northern Ireland and Wales as well. Portugal, those three teams that do regularly get into Europe regularly pick up results. So you can see that's why their coefficient is quite a bit higher than Scotland's coefficient, simply because the three clubs that represent Portugal regular in Europe regularly pick up good results, don't they? So it means that they're contributing massively to the coefficient. Um, but yeah, thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. Interesting point, mate. Well spotted. Kyle saying, yeah, dude, some decent teams in Belgium. Absolutely well said, Kyle. Yeah, like you say, it's quite surprising, isn't it, where some of the teams are in the coefficiency. Kyle H saying, yeah, Gaz, there's 2 league titles between us. Okay, nice one, Kyle. Oh, sorry, mate, my bad. I thought it was one. So yeah. Going to be interesting to see this. I think it's going to make it a title race this season. What do you guys reckon in the SPFL? I think Rangers and Celtic might end up having a real humdinger this season for the title. Obviously, Rangers will want to stop Celtic closing the gap, and Celtic are going to want to close the gap. So it's certainly going to make for an interesting title race, as you say, Kyle, with 2 league titles. Sorry. For that, I thought it was only one. So, yeah, Kyle correcting me there. Top man. Thank you, mate. Glasgow Rangers saying, didn't Millwall do good last season? Yeah, they did, mate. They got all the way to the playoffs. Just unfortunately, they just kind of fell at the last hurdle. But it is a difficult. It's always a lottery in it when the playoffs. But yeah, they did have a good season, Millwall, last season. I thought they did well overall, but just not quite able to get over the line to get themselves in the Premier League. So thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. Ben saying, yeah, Glasgow Rangers 7th. Yeah, he finished 7th, but he actually got into the playoffs. Just like I say, just maybe just ran out a ran out of steam towards the last knock-ins of the season. But I'm expecting another positive season from Millwall. To be fair, but that's, as I say, that's just my opinion. I'm expecting them to be up there in the top 6 somewhere at least. Kyle saying, Gaz, yes, there's national Yes, there's national coefficient and there's the club coefficient. 2 different, both separate, but most of their national players play out with Belgium league. That's why it's lower. I think that's meant to be. Is that outside the Belgian league? That's why it's lower. Yeah. Well, thank you, Carl. Well, I think Scotland's got the same problem, haven't they? To be fair, Carl, because some of the better Scottish players playing down in the English Premier League. So obviously, maybe you're making a really good observation there, Kyle. Actually, when I think about it, that could be what Kyle's pointing out there. Is actually could be. Think about it. If those Scottish players that are playing down in the Premier League, if they were playing in Scotland, they might actually help the Scottish coefficient go up, because you're talking about players like you've got Andy Robertson at Liverpool, you've got Kieran Tierney at Arsenal, and what's he called? The player at United now. Is it McTominay? McTominay at United as well, and there's probably a couple of other players that I'm not remembering. So yeah. Well spotted there, Kyle. I think that's a great point. Like you say, maybe also that's one of the reasons why Scotland as well having the low coefficient, because they're better players playing in the English Premier League. So yeah. Glasgow Rangers saying Sporting Lisbon, Benfica, Porto, Braga are all teams I'm fascinated by. Would love to watch the League NOS. Or is it called the Primeira La Liga? How I'm not sure, to be honest. Glasgow Rangers. I'm not sure. As I've said to you guys before, yeah, it's weird how what clubs grab our attention on the European continent away from our own clubs. Sporting. I can't remember. Is Braga a Portuguese club? I can't remember. Are they a Portuguese club as well? I can't remember now. But yeah. So thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. I can't remember. Braga, I'd have to check that. Are they a Portuguese club, Braga? They might be, aren't they? I can't remember. Benny's saying our form at the end of the season for the last 2 months was relegation form. Uh, why we didn't make playoffs. I thought you did get into the playoffs, Ben. Didn't you get? Oh, or did you just fall outside of them? I thought you did. I know you came close. I know you came close. That was sure. I know you was in. I know I was watching towards the end of the season. I didn't watch all the playoffs, but I know you guys were in the mix of it pretty much to the end of the season. But I think you're right. I think you just dropped points in the wrong games, didn't you? A few points towards the end. So I don't know. I'd have to refresh my memory to be fair. But thank you for that, Ben. Glasgow Rangers saying Billy Gilmore is at Norwich too. Yep. Well said, Glasgow. I forgot about that. Yep, Billy Gilmore also another potential player, although he's not quite reached his full potential yet. Billy Gilmore. Hopefully he does because I really do like him as a player. But unfortunately, Norwich not seeming to get the best out of him at the minute. Um, but I think he's definitely an up and coming player. Just I don't know, just need to see him. Maybe I don't know whether he might need to move clubs to see the best out of him. But yeah, well said, Glasgow Rangers. Kyle saying Billy Gilmore is some player. He is, mate. You're absolutely right. Yep, definitely an exciting player for Scotland. Let's hope that his development continues. Although it does seem to have gone a bit quieter since he's moved to Norwich, hasn't he? And I've not seen what kind of performance he's been putting in for Norwich. But well said, Kyle. Glasgow Rangers saying, Carl, I know, big player for Norwich. I've not watched a lot of Norwich last season, to be fair, mate. So I don't know. I'm not really seen how he's getting on, but I've not heard any big headlines for him. So I presume maybe he'd been a bit quiet there, to be fair. Glasgow Rangers also saying, yeah, Braga is. Right. Yep. I couldn't remember, to be fair. So thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. So many European clubs, isn't there? It's easy to get confused with them sometimes. Ben saying, yeah, Braga is a Portuguese club. Top stuff, guys. Thank you. Kyle H is saying, of course he is. He comes from Rangers. Okay, Kyle. Glasgow Rangers saying, and also McGinn for Villa. Yep, McGinn for Villa. Absolutely. Yeah, he's only just moved down there, and he from Hibs. So yeah, like I said, I did say, didn't I? I did say there was a few players I was probably missing out as well. But yeah, as you guys pointing out now, some of the other players. So that's at least 5 or 6 top players that are good enough to play in the Premier League. So if they're good enough to play in the Premier League, imagine what they could do for Scotland's coefficient if they was playing in the Scottish leagues. So yeah, great point earlier by Kyle, I think it was, pointing about the was it the Belgium league, about a lot of the Belgian players playing outside of Belgium. So the same scenario really for Scotland, to be fair. So thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. Kyle saying Tierney as well, uh, all top their players. Yeah, no, I'm really excited to watch Scotland this summer. This season for qualifications. Really hope that the good players for Scotland start to really stamp their authority on the team. So yeah, thank you for that, Kyle. And yeah, Kieran Tierney. There is rumours of him going. Did you have you heard? There is rumours that Arsenal considering loaning him out. So I don't know whether he's going to be playing at Arsenal this season, but I know that I heard rumours the other day that apparently I can't remember which club, one of the clubs in Europe have come in for a loan deal for Kieran Tierney. So I don't know what you guys think of that if he goes to Europe. That might be good for him, though, to get some experience outside the UK. It would only be a 12-month loan deal because I don't think Arsenal want to sell him. Ben is saying maybe Gilmore at Luton would be good. Yeah, that would be good. There's a possibility because, like I said, I think Arsenal are open to loaning him out. I think they're wanting to get him more match time. And obviously, Arsenal made a few signings during the summer as well. Ben, so yeah, good, interesting suggestion there from Ben. Glasgow Rangers said, Ben, I agree. So yeah, that's an interesting suggestion. Ben saying he's on loan from Brighton, I think. Kieran Tierney, are we talking about here, Ben? Are you talking about Kieran Tierney here? I'm confused there, Ben. Sorry, mate, you've lost me. He's on loan from Brighton, I think. Who is? You've lost me there, Ben. That's not following on from you because Kieran Tierney we were talking about. So sorry, Ben, I'm confused with that, mate. Sorry. Kylie's saying he went to Real Sociedad, I think it was. Yeah, I did hear. I knew it was a European club had come in inquiring about loaning him. Um, so has he actually gone? I'd have to check that, mate. Has he actually gone? Has the loan actually been done? I heard it on the radio the other day when I was at work. So obviously I didn't have a chance to look into it because I was working, but I did hear it on the radio that he was linked with a loan move. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I'll have to check that out there. But thank you, Kyle, for letting me know if that has happened. If he has actually moved to Real Sociedad, it could be good for him though. Could be good for Scotland for him to get some experience outside the UK. Kyle saying Tierney. I mean, thank you, Kyle. Right, well, I'll take your word for it, mate. I'll quickly double check it later if I get a chance. But yeah, it could be good for him, couldn't it? And it's only a loan deal, so he's going to be coming back to the UK. So it could be good for him to get 12 months on European football and get a different taste and a different feel of a different culture of football, if you like. Ben saying, I'm talking about Gilmore. Okay. Thanks, Ben. Well, how did Brighton come into it then? Because Billy Gilmore played for Norwich. Don't he? Yeah, sure he did. See, now this is frustrating now. I'm gonna have to look it up now because you guys have got me confused here. I'm sure Billy Gilmore plays for Norwich. But Ben is confusing me here because he's chucking Brighton into the conversation. So let's have a look. Billy Gilmore, who does he play for? Exactly. So here's what Wikipedia is saying. Billy Gilmore plays for Norwich City. Date joined 2021 Norwich City Scottish national football team, 2019, and Chelsea FC. So yeah, I'm confused, Ben, where you're getting Brighton from, mate, because I think he might have been connected with Brighton and moved to Brighton at some point. So let's just see. Oh yeah, he was at Brighton, wasn't he? So yeah, that's why Ben's mentioning Brighton. So my bad. Yeah, let's just looking at his previous teams. So yeah, he was at Chelsea, wasn't he? So he's at Chelsea, and he was loaned to Norwich, and also loaned. I think yeah, he had a loan spell at Brighton as well, didn't he? As well. So yeah, my bad, Ben. I got confused there. Although to be fair, I didn't see an awful lot of Billy Gilmore last season. To be fair, so that's probably why I've lost track of where he's up to. So yeah, he made 11 appearances for Chelsea, 24 appearances for Norwich City, and 17 appearances for Brighton Hove Albion. So it doesn't say we go more Scottish professional football. I'm just trying to find out if he's actually moved on loan again. Oh yeah, confusing. Confusing. So yeah, you're right, Ben. My bad, mate. But yeah, he was at Brighton, one. So yeah. Ben saying sorry for the confusion. No worries, Ben. It was just me. I'm like I said, guys, covering so much football all the time. It does get confusing to keep up with all the players, and plus I'm working a lot. That's making it so much harder. I'll be glad when, hopefully, if the channel continues to build and do well, hopefully that then I will be able to do it full time in the future, and then it's going to make it a lot easier for me to remember details without having a tired mind all the time. So my bad, Ben. It's my bad, mate. I just didn't. I forgot about him moving to Brighton and having a spell there. So yeah, but I didn't. To be fair, I didn't follow Brighton an awful lot last season, did we? I don't think we covered them much on the channel because we was last season was trying to make a special effort to cover a lot of non-league. Sorry, not non-league. Lower league football. We was trying to give the Championship, the League One, some coverage as well as Scottish football. So that was what I was focused on a bit more last season. So that's probably how I've missed that. So yeah, thank you, Ben. My bad, mate. It's my confusing. Glasgow Rangers saying just when we're talking about Norwich, I have Norwich Canary birds. What I bought last week. Okay, thanks to that, mate. Norwich Canary bird. Can't fault you there. Kyle saying, yeah, he signed for them the other day. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I'm not seeing it registered yet, but yeah, I did hear that on the radio when I was at work. As I say, but it was rumored then. It was saying that it was linked with it, I think, so it hadn't actually gone through at that point. But thank you for that, Kyle. Ben saying I must have confused of something else. No, it's me that got confused. You're right, Ben. He did have a spell at Brighton. I just forgot about it, to be fair, mate. Too much football going through my head. Ben is saying I must have. So yeah, thanks for that, Ben. Like I say, mate, my bad. Glasgow Rangers saying thoughts on Maguire not leaving United. To be honest, I didn't think he would, mate, because I'd leave United. I know he might not be very popular at United at the moment, but I didn't expect him to leave because I thought he'd leave United a bit short in defence, to be fair, mate. So, yeah. So, thanks for that. Glasgow Rangers. Carl saying Celtic trying to hijack Harry Southern to Rangers deal as well. Good luck to them. He's already made it known his dream is to play alongside his brother, and who does his brother play for again? Okay, Kyle, interesting one. But maybe Celtic trying to cause a divide in the family as well with loyalty. Glasgow Rangers also saying it would be the most toxic brothers in the world. I'm sure you're right, mate. I'm sure you're right. But Celtic gonna try and maybe cause an upset. That's a sign that they see that as a threat. That Rangers trying to sign both of them. Ben saying I just thought he played for Brighton in pre-season. Yeah, he did. You're right, mate. He did have a spell at Brighton. It's me that's got it wrong, mate. It is me. You're right. He did have a spell at Brighton last season. It's just me. Obviously, I was covering a lot of lower league football last season, wasn't I? So it's probably just gone. I've probably just overlooked it, to be fair, Ben. So, as I say, mate, my bad. You got it right. It was me that got it wrong. Glasgow Rangers saying it's okay, Ben. It doesn't matter, mate. No, it doesn't. It was like I say, mate. It was me that got it wrong, not you. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up the show. I was only coming on to get a bit of experience and bit of practice doing something slightly different as we do a lot of match watch alongs. But as we continue to build fan, then I want to start mixing it up and do other different types of shows as well. But it's one step at a time as we continue to build the channel. So today was some good opportunity to jump on something a little bit different. And for me to obviously get back on. But I'm going to go and have a look now and see what's going on in the transfer window because it is deadline day today. So I will be going checking that out, see what's going on with that. But hopefully, maybe see you guys a little bit later on. Ben is saying goodbye and evening, everyone, and Gaz. Thanks for that, Ben. Although it's afternoon yet, mate. I think you're used to evening. We're not on the evening yet. That shows Ben's used to us being on the channel a lot in the evening. But yeah, it's not evening yet, Ben. But thank you very much, mate. Loving the positivity. And bye to you. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the afternoon. And thank you, mate. Top stuff, Ben. I'm going to go and have a nosy now, see what's going on with the deadline day transfer news. Glasgow Rangers saying, can you sometimes call a UEFA person so you can chat to him? Well, I'd love to, mate. I'd absolutely love to, but I don't think UEFA will be very willing to come on our channel because I'd grill them. I would grill them. I would ask them a lot of questions that they might not want to answer. But that is the long-term ambition, Glasgow Rangers. That is the longer-term ambition that if we can build the channel to be successful, that we can write a letter to UEFA, to the FA, and invite them to send a representative on to talk to us, so we can as football fans, we can ask the questions that we feel that the mainstream media don't ask. But whether they will come on the channel, now that is a different question. But with you guys showing fantastic positivity when you come in the chat and welcoming all new fans, if we continue to build the fan community and we get a strong and positive, vibrant fan den community, then you never know. It could be possible because if we get plenty of fans that like what Fanden's about, then you'd think that if I keep writing them letters, that eventually they won't be able to ignore us. So it's a great suggestion, Glasgow Rangers, but I've already got that in my mind, mate. But I think we need to build the channel up a bit more before before any official FA or UEFA or FIFA representatives would give it serious consideration to come on. But it is an ambition that I hope to achieve in the future, mate. So thanks for that, Glasgow Rangers. Kyle saying, exactly, Gaz. Celtic are worried by the Harry Sutter deal. They're signing all our throwaways. Lewis Palmer, for example. Well, I think there's a lot of clubs going to be panicking today with trying to get some deals done. But thank you for that, Kyle. I'm not sure. Maybe Celtic fans might have a different look on it, I suppose. I don't know. Glasgow Rangers saying, bye, Gaz. Thanks for the 2 streams, mate. No worries, mate. Thank you to you as well, Glasgow Rangers. Appreciate the fantastic support from you guys, as always. And special thanks to you, Glasgow Rangers, for dropping in on both of them. Don't forget, guys, do check out that other stream if you get a chance. It was only a short one earlier. But if you do get a chance, please have a quick look at it. Maybe drop a like, would be really appreciated. But thank you for that, mate. Top stuff. Kyle saying, cheers, guys. Take it easy, dude. Everyone else, catch you all later. It's been emotional. Thank you, Kyle. Well, as I say, you may see me. I'm not promising, but you might see me back on the channel at some point later today. But thank you, Kyle. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, mate. Stay safe and well. And yeah, top man, thank you for the positive vibes. Glasgow Rangers saying, catch you next time on the Jamie Kyle show. Thank you, Glasgow Rangers, and big shout out to all you guys for dropping in. Kyle H, Glasgow Rangers. Ben, the best League One. Are we missing anybody? I'm sure I'm probably missing somebody here. Where was we? Did I miss anybody? Not sure. I think I've covered everybody. Oh, BWFC Forever, who popped in earlier as well. So, yeah. I think I've covered everybody. And Stevie as well. Got to give a mention to Stevie doing the magic in the background. So, yeah, I think I've covered everybody. So, yeah, thank you very much, guys. As I say, really appreciate your positive conversation in the chat and engaging comments. Always a pleasure. And final word goes to Kyle and saying, of course, Stevie, absolutely top man, Kyle. Thank you, guys. So, yeah, I'm going to jump off. Don't forget, guys, please do hit that thumbs up on your way out if you haven't. If you have, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, that's it from me for now, guys. I may see you later on. I possibly could be back on the channel later. Got to go and check out the transfer news. Not promising, but I may be back on later on. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And if I don't see you later on today, I will certainly catch up with you over the weekend. But for me, for now, that's it. All the best. Stay safe and well out there, guys. And I look forward to speaking to you guys more soon. Bye for now.